Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys to please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course I always do greatly appreciate it. And if you do find any of the information in this video valuable, useful, or interesting in any sort of way possible, definitely hit that subscribe button and turn notifications on to never miss a future update. But with all of that in mind, I do want to talk to you guys and address, Bitcoin. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about Bitcoin. I want to talk to you guys about where we are currently in this market, because I'm sure that a lot of individuals out there are probably panicking. I want to know how you guys are doing. Comment down below how your Monday has been, how your Tuesday's going, if you will, if you are watching this on Tuesday. I just want to know from you all, how your day is going. Of course, I am watching the market closely, but I'm not too, I'm not going to be focusing all day long on the charts. I have my own life. I'm not going to be focused 100% on the charts all day long. Of course, if you want to do that, you guys are more than welcome to. I do not advise that. I think it's extremely unhealthy, but for the most part, a lot of altcoins are taking a little bit of a nice hit today, down about like 14%, for an example, on XRP, down 16.79% on the 7-day span, and of course, Bitcoin did drop in price today. I told you guys to watch the indices. I told you guys to pay attention to Bitcoin on Monday, and we basically got exactly what we were wanting. I know that we are down, excuse me, I know that we are down below my demand zone. In fact, my demand zone was at around like 38.2K to about 40.7K. But of course, you do see the 702, being broken here, and the 786 is where we are basically targeting. Blockchain backer. Shout out to Blockchain Backer. If you guys don't know who he is, you should definitely be watching his content. An incredible individual. But he's basically going off of that same exact, fib level. I know that he doesn't have that fib level, mentioned here or even labeled on the chart. But basically, that is exactly this point here that we are watching for that major, retest of course, the 786 at 35.7K. Now, if we do bounce off of that, it's going to be looking very good for us to kind of have this nice impulse to about 55K plus. I think that this is basically the pinnacle on where we will see altcoin, movements, drastically increasing. I think that that's when we will see XRP trying to take off as well. There's a lot of things to look forward to. Right now, I'm not really concerned on this market structure. I know a lot of individuals are kind of concerned and worried because we are below, for example, like the August lows. But I'm really not too concerned right now. We still have some key levels to watch for in terms of, that holding formation, if you will. 35.7K is critical for us. So I'm watching this market closely. I'm not saying that I'm not concerned. I'm a little bit concerned just in terms of, price validation or invalidation. When we start to dip down here, that's when it gets a little bit, scary, if you will. But I'm not going to be too worried. I'm not going to be, selling at a loss or anything like that if I am on a loss on any of my altcoin holdings. But I will say this, when we are talking about Bitcoin and when we are talking about this entire market, there is a lot of things to continue to pay attention to revolving around XRP. And we're going to be addressing that and talking about that in this video. So let's move forward and let's talk about a few things. So, minus, of course, the charts. Definitely pay attention to these charts if you guys do want more technical analysis and more in-depth technical analysis. Like I said, go check out Blockchain Backer. Incredible individual. So, overall, I do want to talk to you guys about this IMF document. I actually have a full PDF file from the IMF as well regarding, XRP. But we do see here, in 2017, the IMF Managing Director welcomes establishment of high-level advisory group on fintech. Look who is on the board. And if you guys did miss this, so this is actually in regards to, can blockchain revolutionize international trade? We're even, seeing, some groups and networks focused on blockchain are starting to emerge, such as the Blockchain Research Institute and the Blockchain Interoperability Alliance, an advocacy group that aims to, develop globally accepted standards that would promote greater connectivity and interoperability between the disparate blockchain networks. And of course, we're even seeing, here going back to March of 2017, the IMF launched a high-level advisory group of fintech composed of senior bank executives, blockchain companies, regulators, and academics, to study the economic and regulatory implications of blockchain technology. Now, I just want you all to understand that this goes back to 2017 of March. The funny thing about this is look at who's on the board. Chris Larsen, the executive chairman of Ripple. And look at all the other major names here. I mean, we're seeing, even Robert Garrison from, the DTCC, and we're even seeing some other major names here as well. And, also major banks too, like even the Bank of Canada, for an example, being, mentioned here. But we're also seeing, even Digital Asset, Circle as well. I see some big names here. But overall, this kind of proves to you guys where Ripple is positioned at, and really where, Chris Larsen and even Brad Garlinghouse himself kind of stand on the food chain. Also, in terms of that IMF document, so this is actually a document that goes back some time, but we do see here, transforming, global payments, enabling the Internet of Value. This is all centered around, of course, Ripple. The Internet of Value enabled the world to move money like information moves today. You can see the overview here as well. Here's that X Current, X Rapid, X Current as well. A lot of this stuff did get redesigned fully and, renamed and rebranded fully, but, for the most part, it still holds true today. This is from the IMF. The IMF, this is an overall presentation on how big Ripple could essentially become, especially if they do achieve exactly what they are going after. In my opinion, they definitely will. I've talked to you guys about this. I talked to you guys about exactly why they will. But we do see, the legacy connectivity, right? This is the legacy, system that we are utilizing right now. Of course, we do see here, a coordinated process enables new benefits, and this is that originating bank to the beneficiary bank, and an instant time, payment settle in real time, of course, utilizing XRP, if you will. Transparency, certainty, and even lower cost. Key functions, of course, you guys could read all about this, and this is 222 in terms of that ISO format. Real-time settlement 24/7, 365. RippleNet specialized for interbank payments as well. I mean, all of this is really kind of focused on banks. You got to understand that this is really kind of, everyone always likes to call Ripple the, banker's coin, or XRP the banker's coin, if you will. In my opinion, it doesn't matter what this is. This is not going to only be utilized by banks. This is going to be utilized by me, you, banks. The legacy system connects everyday life. So you got to realize how much volume is actually going to go over something like this if it is, incorporated properly. Something like this, of course, if you will, the interconnectivity between all banks. I think that is something that it could get very interesting very fast. And we do see, this goes back a little bit of time, of course, because you do see Bank of America being, an advisory board member. But this should prove to you exactly how big Ripple was, even before the lawsuit. And of course, I think it's going to get much, much bigger after the lawsuit. And here's, of course, some case studies from, even SBI Remit, SCB, Santander, a snapshot of our customers. This is when it was very new at the time. But of course, SBI connects Ripple to 60 plus Japanese banks. I mean, that's huge in itself. And then, of course, we do see reducing, payment friction, basically cutting out the middleman, if you will. Nasha liquidity makes up 34%. So we're already claiming, 34% in terms of reduced friction in terms of payments. So that's very significant. And of course, the future expanding reach using a digital asset. And here you have XRP being at the center stage for it. That digital asset is going to be XRP. Okay, use case, bridging fiats to solve for liquidity, XRP. Financial institution exchanges fiat for XRP. Via a local exchange, financial institutions does not have to hold XRP. XRP transferred, XRP exchange for local fiat as well. I mean, this is the basis behind it. I mean, this is basically what we are awaiting happening right now. And of course, with all of this in mind, I think that we are looking forward to seeing regulations put in place, because I think it's going to allow for XRP to really spark the flame. And guys, I think that we are very close to a settlement. We even see here, Ripple SEC lawsuit. This might be the biggest decision for XRP, per John Deaton. We do see here, this might be the biggest decision for XRP in the Ripple SEC case, according to John Deaton. We're seeing, Judge Netburn's decision on the motion for reconsideration will be the biggest decision in the Ripple case. I say that because I don't believe the motion to strike the, fair, I forgot what it was. I can't think of it now, guys. I lost the track of it. Oh, wait, fair notice defense. I could not think for the life of me there. I do apologize. Is a significant one because the judge isn't deciding, with Ripple isn't deciding whether, Ripple had fair notice, but only whether it can argue it as well. And when we did see, the fair notice honestly, we looked at those memos and stuff. Like, to me, it seems like Ripple has the upper hand right now. In fact, it looks like Ripple has a major win over the SEC. And also, we even see here, in terms of an SEC document, this was filed 04/2021, actually. So this was filed back in April of 2021. And we even see here, again, we understand that the primary reason for purchasing Ripple credits is to facilitate online commerce, not to engage in speculative investment trading. As such, given the commercial nature here, Ripple credits should not be considered securities. And of course, this is when they were calling it Ripple credits. It's more so XRP just in general, right? We know it as XRP. I mean, honestly, when we are talking about everything that is happening, this is confirmation that XRP is not a security. Okay, and it's been going around. We even see, Stuart Alderati, the conclusion of these now public 2012 memos is clear. XRP do not constitute, securities. The fact that Ripple had the foresight to seek legal advice from the prominent firm in 2012 in the absence of clear case law and 5 years before the SEC even started talking about digital assets should be applauded. And this is true, right? Like, when we are talking about XRP, it definitely does not constitute as a security. It is a currency. We know it's a currency because when we are talking about the overall revolution of the payment system, it is a bridge currency. It's going to be utilized as that bridge currency that transacts, and I shouldn't even say transacts, but converts these major fiat currencies to one major asset, which is, of course, XRP, the center of the bridge, if you will. Okay? And also, while all of this is being talked about, we're even seeing, the SEC makes a big deal about how Ripple didn't offer a commercially viable use case for XRP until 2018. What needs to be made clear is that Ripple chose the most difficult path for XRP, disrupting a half-a-century legacy banking system built on fees from friction. Takes time. And listen closely to this, guys.
One thing on this note that I think is important, we are viewed, some of you who follow Ripple might know this, we're viewed in the broader sort of blockchain, Bitcoin space as a bit of a sellout, to be perfectly honest. So the blockchain is all about being sort of anarchistic, right? Down with the man, down with governments, down with big companies, down with banks. They're the central counterparty that is taking our stuff or charging usurious rates. We believe that the blockchain revolution, what we're doing, actually works revolution from within rather than from out. We want to work with banks and regulators and governments to be more efficient, and we invest a lot of time in doing so. Now, we get a lot of arrows because of that, because we're sellouts. And it's ironic, sort of in a contrarian movement, we're the contrarians. Like, we're not going with the flow. But we believe strongly in the impact, and it's the right approach. I don't know if I exactly addressed your question, but I think we take it super seriously, and we invest a lot of time and money to sit down with banks and make sure that we're working with them versus trying to disintermediate them and trying to skirt around the government or the regulators. We think that the digital asset space should be regulated, but it should be done in an intelligent way that it helps to preserve the innovation while protecting that, as opposed to just, the proverbial throwing the baby out with the bathwater and just overly regulate and really restrict the innovation.
And that's also a big key aspect, right? Doing it in a very logical way. Ripple already has a regulatory framework built in. They already created it. And honestly, I believe that we will be utilizing the Ripple framework for regulations in the space. And that's also when XRP begins its major takeover. Sorry, I meant to click here again. Like, he just said that it's not going after banks. It's not trying to replace banks. It's trying to innovate with banks, trying to allow for efficiencies to be met, enabling fast, low-cost payments, for an example, creating liquidity so that we don't have to use Nostro Vostro accounts or pre-funding accounts, if you will. This is going to connect everything to one. And it's going to streamline the success of banks. It's going to allow for banks to move a lot faster, be more efficient, and pretty much become, everything that we have been waiting to see banks basically become. So with all of that in mind, I really do hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.